Honors 8th grade math of Algebra 1. We are moving into Chapter 2, and we're going to do 7 different problems, and this will take you from section 2.1 to 2.4. I think there will be 3 videos for Chapter 2. So the first problem is 2/5 equals m minus 1/5. Now you're solving an equation here and you want to isolate the m. So you are going to add 1/5 to both sides to get the m alone. That makes these cancel. So 2/5 plus 1/5 is 3/5. When you add, you have a common denominator and you just add the numerator. And I would probably flip this around and write m equals 3/5, and that is your answer. Problem number 2. -8 plus b equals 2. So again, our whole goal here is to isolate the letter, the variable, so that we can solve for what it actually is. We're going to undo what this says, which is -8. So to undo, you're going to add 8. Therefore, the solution is that b equals 10. Three. 5/2 equals 4y over 3. Now, just a quick recap again. Anytime you have a fraction, the whole top is grouped together and the whole bottom is grouped together. In this case, since there's not pluses and minuses, we don't need the parentheses, but if there are pluses and minuses, just so you know, you do need the parentheses. So we want to undo this division stuff. If you remember cross multiplication, whenever you have a fraction equaling a fraction, you can do this, but there can't be the plus and minus outside of just the fraction. So 4y times 2 would give 8y, and 5 times 3 would give 15. Now I'm going to undo all this and explain this a different way because people tend to just cross multiply at random times. I kind of like to think of this as the first thing you want to do is get rid of the divide by 3, and to undo division, you do multiplication, and what you do to one side, you do to the other. So here the 3's cancel. You can make this a 3 over 1 also, might make more sense. So now you have 15, hold on, over 2 equals 4y. Then your next step is to get rid of the 2. Again, you would multiply by the reciprocal to undo the division. So you have 15 equals 8y, which is the exact same thing we had with the cross multiplication before I erased it. And then the last step is to get the y alone. So a number next to a letter means multiply. To undo multiplication, you do division. So you have y equals 15 over 8. The best way to write this is as a mixed number, which is 1 and 6, 7, hold on. 1 and 7/8. That would be the best answer. Problem 4. 2a plus 3 minus 8a equals 8. In a case like this, you want to get all of the letters to one side and all of the numbers to the other. So we would need to move this 3 by subtracting. So we have 2a minus 8a equals 5. Since the a's are on the same side of the equation and they're the exact same letter, we can put them together. You may want to slash and dash just because negativity, you know, it's not the best. So 2a plus negative 8a is a negative 6a. And then to solve for a, you would just need to divide both sides by negative 6. Now, when there's one negative, the whole thing is negative. So you could write this as negative 5 over 6. You could write this as negative out front, 5 over 6. Or you could write it as it is right here, but this is kind of a weird thing to have the negative on the bottom. So I would go with one of these two solutions, which are the exact same thing. And again, it's really nice to plug your solution into the initial problem to see if it works. That doesn't look that fun to plug in though, but it's okay. The fifth problem. 10y minus, in parentheses, 4y plus 8 equals negative 20. All right, now this negative out front of the parentheses is the same thing as a negative 1. And again, I would slash and dash because minuses always cause issues. You don't have to do that, but it's just a good tactic. There's no need to move this 10y because over here there is no y's. So our first step would be to distribute that negative 1. So 10y plus negative 4y plus negative 8 equals negative 20. Now you want all of your numbers on one side. We're going to do that by adding 8. So 10y plus negative 4y equals negative 12. And then your y's are on the same side of the equation. They can go together. 6y equals negative 12. And finally, you want to isolate the y through division, so y would equal negative 2. Now that number looks pretty fun to plug in, so we can go back to the initial problem and just test it really quickly. 10 times negative 2 plus negative 1 times 4 times negative 2 plus 8 equals negative 20. And then you'll notice that 10 times negative 2 is negative 20, and negative 8 and positive 8 is a 0, so all of this cancels because 0 times anything is 0. So yay, it works. You can celebrate because you are positive it is right. That's such a cool, great thing about math. Must be why it's the best subject ever. Okay, 6. 10 minus 5x plus 1 equals 7x plus 11 minus 12x. If you want, go ahead and pause and see if you can do this on your own. All right, hoping you're feeling confident. All of the letters are going to go on one side. I really like the letters on the left, so I'm going to move the 7x. I'll do this in like individual steps. I'm also going to make the plus a negative. So plus negative 12x plus 1 equals 11 minus 12x. It would have been a really great idea to like put the x's together and to put the numbers together also. This doesn't have to be your first step. This is just what I would do. So this is fascinating. Our x's are all canceling. So we're getting 10 plus 1 equals 11. Now, what's great is that that is actually true. 11 will always equal 11. So this answer is all solutions. Any and every number you plug in there will work. If by chance this wasn't there and it was 10 equals 11, that is never true. So that would have been no solution. But that was not the case, so I'm going to erase that so that nobody is confused. And the grand finale of problems on this beautiful day. 12x minus 3 plus x equals 5x minus 4 plus 8x. This time, let's go ahead and put together, remember there's a 1 in front of a letter with no coefficient. So I'm going to put together the like terms before I move anything. So 13x minus 3. You just got to go into your intuition and follow it. If you don't want to do this and you want to start moving things, totally fine. And then again, when we put all of the letters on one side, all of the letters cancel. So you get 0x, you don't even need to write that, minus 3 equals negative 4. So it's negative 3 equals negative 4. If you kept going and added the numbers, you would have 0 equals negative 1. Still, it doesn't work. So no matter how you're solving this, it doesn't work, and that's why there's no solutions. There is no number that would make this work. So I hope you are feeling as pumped up about math as I am because it is such a beautiful sight to behold. Have a lovely night.